That must have given you an idea of how hilarious Victor's book is. So I asked him what the book has done for him and a few other questions. Enjoy the rest of the interview. What has this book done for you? Can you share a few experiences you've had as a result of
it gives,
publishing this book?
You were talking about money. I think for many writers, it's not even about the money for them. It's just the satisfaction that you have been able to communicate and people have, you have shared ideas with a few people or a large number of people and they have enjoyed it. There's nothing as touching for me when a friend told me that the mother that was in the hospital battling with serious disease, she's well now, she's doing very well. This was her companion. And she was always reading it in the hospital bed and she would be laughing even though she was in pain. And I eventually met the lady, in Freedom Park. She hugged me and everything. I think that was one of the most satisfying moments for me, apart from the fact that the book is being used in 2 universities and I have the opportunity to now go and talk to undergrads and kind of advise them. When I go to read the books, they are using them for their courses and all those things as recommended text, both in Uniben and in Ambrose Aley University. It's not even about reading the book, it's just for me to quickly tell them about the outside world, because I know I was once inside those classes, I was once inside the campus and I didn't quite have an idea of what was happening outside. And not very many people came back to tell us that, look, this is where you have to lay the foundation, because once you get out there and you are not well cooked here, you won't be ready for the outside world.
Interesting. Now, okay, so a lot of Nigerians don't read Nigerian books. Even the few Nigerians who read fiction, this is my personal observation, so I stand to be corrected. They tend to read a lot of Western fiction books. If you agree with this, why is it so?
Okay, I kind of agree in a way, and I will go back to the first answer I gave to you. Is all part of marketing.
So you reckon the problem is Nigerian books are not well marketed?
No, because the person that is, why are you reading that foreign writer is because he has been reviewed properly. The publishers have spent money in giving him a publicist to sell the book to you. So if you are learned and you are reading reviews, you are opening things and all those things, they have brought these people up. So some of them, but that is not to say some of them are not good writers. They are good writers. They write well, really beautiful fiction or non-fiction enough for people to read and cut across. But we now have some of those people as well. So I'll give an example, Chimamanda, you understand, so you realize that she's a fantastic writer, but you also realize that there is a big, the publishers are behind making sure that his book is properly promoted as well, so it cascades down. If I keep, that's why you have promo. Why do you think McDonald's is paying money for you to make sure that even your 2-year-old will see a McDonald's sign and they will recognize it? Or Coca-Cola, they are still spending money. They could have said, oh, everybody knows Coke, we won't spend money, or Star, or Glow, or Etisalat.
So you reckon the major difference is the way the books are sold?
Yes,
not the quality of writing.
Quality of writing is also part of it, but don't forget we now have like really great writers that are here, but we still have to kind of up our ante in the publishing industry by having good editors to edit the books, good copy editors to edit the books and all those things, up to even designing the cover, you understand? Not just like something that will not even be appealing to you once you get into our local bookstores. So it's a total package that you have to throw into it and all those things, and also sensitize people. But the other thing is that as we are getting more aware about books, we're also competing with other things. Publishers and writers have to realize that they are competing with the Twitters, their bloggers, quick news, and all that. So you have to figure out a way to serve the book now and all that, you know. So it's not everybody that want to carry a novel and start hauling it all over the place. How do you now serve it? How do you now, this current generation that is very mobile and electronic savvy, how do we now sell our books to them? How do we now make book appealing to them? They would rather, you know, like a young man, when I was like in my teenage years, early teenage years, I read James Hadley Chase because I didn't have an iPad that would distract me from it. There was no phone, you know. So now at that age, by 9, 10, kids already have iPad. They already have these games that people are making millions of dollars from, but selling it to our kids, and they are living that reading this thing. So maybe it's their world, but I think there is still something in book to be gained. You know? So
I was going to ask you, do you think there's a future for the book as we know it, as we used to know it?
I still believe in it because I think when TV first came, people thought radio was going to die and all that, you know. So, but radio is still there till tomorrow. It has gone through many evolutions and all that, but it's still there. So I think that is the fate of books. So no matter what, you're looking at it on Kindle, you are looking at it on iBooks and whatever, book is still going to be book. Otherwise, you know, so there are a few things. People still want to hold that book and all that. You probably will outgrow a certain age of like, oh, I'm so interested in, I must have an iPad to read from everything. Then eventually you probably grow back to like, oh, I need a book. I need that flipping sound and all that, you know. So I don't think it will die. I don't believe so. I don't think in my generation, Sha.
So, what are you writing now, Victor?
Funny enough, I've not been doing a lot of writing lately. I've been doing a lot of painting.
Painting makes you more money.
Well, not because of the money. I don't need light or anything to paint. You know, I just, once I'm out there and all those things, you know, so it's you know, I'm painting and, you know, but I'm still writing, you know. I have things I'm working on, you know, so, but not as furious as I would want to, but it's more like painting for me at the moment because of where Nigerian art is going, you know. So I also have to cave in a little bit and do a lot of more artwork than writing.
Now, I'm going to put you in a box, Victor. There are so many people out there who they hear about Nigerian books and Nigerian writers, and they're beginning to develop slight interests. Maybe they should explore. Who are your 5 favorite Nigerian writers?
No, what I'll say is that Nigeria is 180 million people, and, you know, take 0.001% of that and say they are writers, and I know a whole lot of them, you know, to say, okay, this is, you know, what I might like, you may not like it, and all those things, you know. So, I mean, of course, people that have done their book covers, I've read them, and I enjoyed doing their book cover. You have Chimamanda.
Would it make a difference if I asked you your 5 favorite Nigerian books?
I don't even have any. When I say I don't have any, I have so many that it would be hard to say this is my 5 favorite Nigerian books. Okay, so I can go back to. It's a very difficult question for somebody like me that's a writer and I would say a voracious reader, because I read a whole lot. So I can't cling to one book. I have my moments. I can be in my Chris Abani moment. I can be in my Chimamanda moment. I can be in my Lola Shoneyin moment. I can be in my say Helen Habila's moment, you know. I can be in my Tony Khan moment, you know. So it's Igoni moment. Igoni's book just came out now, and I'm reading that. I'm excited about it, what he has done with fiction and all that, you know. So,
okay, so I want to start reading Nigerian books.
Yes.
And I come to Victor.
And say,
give me some advice. I want to start reading Nigerian books. Who should I start exploring?
No, I'll say you are really trying to box me in here. I'll say start, you can pick up, to start, if you say, okay, Nigerian books. So let's say one of the Nigerian authors that have been published here locally, so it doesn't look like, okay, because these people have been published abroad and everything, pick up Egosa's book. Pick up Egosa's Imaswen. Pick up Egosa's Fine Boys, you know. Pick up TK's A Night of a Creaking Bed. You know, from there you can move on to Igoni Barrett, because these are homegrown. So because if I start mentioning people like Helen Habila, you say, it's because they are published abroad and all those things. That is why. But these are guys that are local groom and all that.
Now, there are not many genres by Nigerian writers. How wide are the genres?
There are not a whole lot of...
By Nigerian writers.
We are mostly concentrating on what I'll call literary fiction. Literary fiction is that, okay, so there's really no genre per se, strict literary kind of things fall apart kind of thing and all that. Then you have historical novel like Chimamada's Half of a Yellow Sun. Then when you move from there, then when you're looking for other genres, you can say, okay, Nnedi Okorafor, who writes sci-fi, you understand?
Science fiction.
It's science fiction. She's Nigerian, you know. So then if you want to go back a little bit, then you can look at Ben Okri, who is magical realist, you know. So those are kind of like things you can look at and say, okay, you know, like, I don't know if, I know they are there, but that is not my area where I read. Those are young fiction, you know, for young people, you know.
I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please join us on any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. I'm Olakunle Kasumo. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.